Alright guys, we're looking at Computation Test H, and I'm just going to review how to do fractions, because some of you still are on Struggle Street. The way to get off Struggle Street is to come to Tutorial Alley or to watch these videos, but there are ways to get off of Struggle Street. Okay, we'll give you the car, the bike, whatever you need to get off of Struggle Street. The good thing for you is we have notes in our journal, table of contents, adding and subtracting fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions. Okay, it's very, very helpful. Lots of examples. Alright, so question 1. I have to have a common denominator first. Okay, I like to circle them just so I know what I'm working with. If you don't remember how to find denominators, then you get to come up here and you get to list the multiples. 12, 24, 36, 4, 8, 12. Oh, 12 looks like it might be common. Oh yes, they all have a 12. Okay, if you know how to do it, you don't have to do this step, but this is for those people who still don't comprehend, don't remember, don't understand what a common denominator is. Now, a couple of people I know did use 24, which is totally fine, but it's not the smallest one, so you want to use the smallest one. So I rewrite all my fractions with a denominator of 12. Okay. Up top, how do I get from 12 to 12? Oh, that's easy. Times 1. That one stayed the same. On the second one, 4 times what gives me 12? Well, I know that's 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. And I'm being lazy, but I do like it better when you do this. That way you know to put the same number. Okay. And then 6 times what gives you 12? Times 2. So the answer is 10. Okay? So if you need to watch that again, slow down, go back, figure out how I got to that part, because if you can't get to this part, you're not going to be able to move on. Okay? Now, all my denominators are the same. All my pieces of pizza are cut the same. So now I can add the top. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 10 is 20. So 20 over 12, I add my whole numbers. 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay, that's really, really close, but I have to make it into a proper fraction. So some of you might be saying, well, I can simplify. That is a great idea. I can divide by 2 and I get 10 over 6. And you might say, well, Miss Davis, you could have divided by 2 again. Well, yeah. Or I could have divided by 4 at the beginning, but 10 divided by 2 is 5. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now this is improper. You do not walk around with a head bigger than your body. That would be improper, so we have to fix it. So, how many 3's go into 5? 1. What would be left over? 2 thirds. So 1 and 2 thirds plus, go back and add your other 12. So your answer is actually 13 and 12 thirds. 2 thirds, sorry. Okay. Well, hopefully that makes sense. The way I did it when I did my own, I just turned the improper fraction into a mixed number and then simplified. It really does not matter, but you have to make it simplified and improper. Again, if you need to watch it, stop the video, rewind, go back, look at it. You've got to figure out what your mistakes are or what you're confused about. And if this video doesn't help, I really need you to come to tutorials. Okay? Number 9. 27 and 16 and 5/8. I know I have to borrow to make this 26. I need to give 5/8 away, so I need this to be in eighths. And because I borrowed 1 whole, I have to make this 1 whole, so it's 8 over 8. Now this is a very basic problem. 8 minus 5 is 3. 8 over 8 is 8, and subtract and you get 10 and 3/8. So the big thing to remember is whatever your denominator is, that's what you want to put. Now you could put, if you wanted, you could put 1 over 1, but then what do you have to do? Get a common denominator. So save yourself this extra work and just change it the first time to the same denominator. Okay? If that confuses you, just do 1 over 1. But remember, it's not just 1 over 8. Because then you would still be in the same boat. Alright, number 10. Common denominator. I know that it's 14 Up top, I know that it's times 7. Whoops, sorry. On the bottom, it's times 2. And now I'm running into the same problem I ran into over here. I only have 7, but I need 10. So I gotta go borrow. Because I borrowed a whole, I have to add a whole here. What a lot of people want to do is just put a 1 here. You cannot do that. Okay? I borrowed a whole, so I have to add a whole here. Again, we're looking at that denominator, 14, and since it's a whole, I have to put 14 over 14. So now I have 21 fourteenths and 10 fourteenths. Subtract 2 and 11 fourteenths. Again, there are lots of times for you to come in during tutorials to get help with these fractions because they're not going away, unfortunately. Alright, we're almost done. Number 11. The first thing you need to do is use the Texas method to change these into improper fractions. If you forgot, it's this. I call it the check method. It's the same thing. You multiply. 24 plus 1 is 25 over 4. Here, 6 times 5 is 30, plus 2 is 32 over 5. These are really big, ugly, nasty numbers. But lucky for you, I taught you how to cross simplify. So if I look across, 32, sorry, oh, don't shut down, computer, please hold. Sorry, it's 5:45 and the computer tells me that I'm supposed to go home. Or it shuts down, so let me stop it. Okay. I would cross simplify. I say, I know that 5 can go into both of these guys. So 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 into 5 1 time. Again, I have to divide by the same number. Okay? Oh, that's great. That's easier, but could I simplify this way? Absolutely. 4 and 32. This is where it really, really pays to know your multiplication. I know that 4 can go into both numbers. 4 goes into 32 8 times. 4 goes into 4 1 time. Now I'm working with much easier, much friendly numbers. Now it's 5 times 8 is 40. 1 times 1 is 1. My answer is 40. That one worked out beautifully. Now if you don't want to do that at first, you don't have to, but it does make your life a little bit harder. It's a little bit ugly numbers, and you gotta really know your multiplication. Alright, number 12. 8 3/4. I know that it has to be improper. Texas method. 32 plus 3 is 35 over 4. 6 plus 1 is 7 over 3. But I remember that crazy cheer Miss Davis taught me. To divide a fraction, don't ask why, just flip the second and multiply. I flip it, it becomes 3/7. I multiply. Alright, so those are ugly. Can't simplify, so let's look across. 3 and 4, can't simplify. And sometimes you're not going to be able to. But 35 and 7, lucky for me, I know my multiplication, and I know that 7 goes into both numbers. 35 divided by 7 is 5. 7 divided by 7 is 1. Now I multiply top times top. 5 times 3 is 15, and bottom times bottom. Alright, that's really close, but I gotta turn it back into a mixed number. So, how many 4s go into 15? Sorry. And if you're not sure, this is what you're really doing. You're dividing 4 into 15. 3. This remainder becomes my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. That's what we're doing in our head, if you can't do that in your head or you didn't understand. Because we're like, how many groups can I make? Oh, I can make 3 groups. Well, 3 groups would be 12 people, so 3 would be left over, and 4 would be the top. Okay? 3 and 3/4. Alright, last one's the integers. 8 minus 9. If I don't know, I'm going to set up a scoreboard because it takes 2 seconds. 8 is a positive panther. 9 is that negative nobody. Who won the game? Unfortunately, the nobodies got us, but they only beat us by 1 point. That's how I got -1. There are 9 negatives and 8 positives. -1 is the answer. Alright, this next one. This is what threw some of you guys on the test. When you have minus and negative, that becomes a plus. So now, 8 points for the nobodies, 9 points for the positive people. My answer is +1 now. Okay? I'm going to go across just because I'm going to do all my adding and subtracting together. -8 and -6. And again, you don't have to use scoreboard, but if you're still struggling, I'm just trying to give you a tool that will work. Okay? 8 points, the nobodies. 6 points, the nobodies. Man, the Panthers had a rough game. We didn't get any points. So the Panthers lost. So the negative nobodies won by 14 points. And the next one, -8, -9. Panthers, nobodies. -8, nobodies. -9, nobodies. This was another terrible game for the Panthers. The nobodies won by 17 points. That's how I know the answer is negative, because the nobodies won the game. Alright, I know integers get confusing because you have to throw in all these extra rules. So for multiplying and dividing, you can use the panda bear. You can use the tic-tac-toe method. Or you can just memorize the rules. It doesn't matter. But I know 10 times 2 is 20. I know that a negative and a positive make a negative. So -20 was my answer. Okay, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2 negatives make a positive. Good. Alright, oh, this is another adding one. 18 and 6. The Panthers are not having good luck on this comp test. 18 is for the nobodies. 6 is for the nobodies. Unfortunately, the Panthers scored 24 points, and we scored, sorry, the nobodies scored 24 points, and we scored 0. So my answer is -24. Last one, -8 times -6. I know that's 48, and I know 2 negatives make a positive. You don't have to put the plus sign there, but I just wanted to make sure y'all knew it was positive. Okay? I really hope these videos are helpful. I know it's kind of long, but you will continue to see computation tests, and this is a big part of 7th grade. So come to tutorials if you need help. Okay? Thanks. Goodbye.